Friday Night Flights. Sponsored by Bayport Credit Union, Hercules Fence, Tidewater Community College, and Casey Auto Group.
Believe it or not, we are halfway through the high school football regular season, and we've been blessed with great weather. Tonight, no exception. This is the view from the air of Green Run High School in Virginia Beach, where the fans in attendance were treated to what will go down as one of the greatest games in Beach District history. That's right. Welcome into the show, Friday Night Flights. I'm Craig Loper. He is James Cattato. We are past the midway point of the regular season. Teams from around the area are now trying to put their stamps on the chase for district championships.
We start with a great game tonight. Green Run and Salem, two teams that met in last year's 5A region title game. Both teams off to strong starts on the year.
That's right. With Green Run, with the Stallions, Brandon Williams would look to further themselves in the driver's seat for a fifth consecutive Beach District title. Coach Mark Hall been doing really good things with his Sun Devils in recent years. Brandon Williams the same with his team. First quarter, Salem already up 7-0, playing defense. Look at the strip sack by Marcus McCoy, number 12, and then number 9, Isaiah Bray, rumbling down the sideline. He sort of fumbles it in the end zone, and Bray picks it up.
Chaos.
It's a Salem touchdown, 14-0. Third quarter now, 10 minutes to go. Salem leading 14-7. Running back Jason Harden had a huge game, had a couple of these big ones. This one goes for 63. Salem takes a 21-7 lead, 3.5 to go in the third. Green Run now down 28-14. Tristan Pitbull Williams, that is, around the edge for the score, 28-21. And then a short while later, same score, Salem punting. Back to return, James, Chadney Cross. And he's got a lane up the sideline, a cutback, green turf in front of him. And that is the score that would tie it up at 28 going into the fourth quarter. Big play here in the fourth. Salem with a third down opportunity. Sun Devils trying to get something going, back to pass. A host of Stallions come up with the sack to give the ball back to the offense. They get it back without 2.5 minutes to go, drive down the field, and out of the wild Stallion formation here, that's Charles Jackson from a yard out. It's the go-ahead score, 35-28. What a thriller tonight at the beach, including playoff games. The Stallions have now won 56 Beach District games in a row. That was the interception to seal it.
What a game from one power to another in Norfolk. Checking in with the two-time reigning state champs, Maury. The Commodores at Booker T. Washington today. Nice field at Booker T, by the way. Have to say that. Maury's first offensive play of the night. Give it to Tayshawn Branch. And Branch, Craig, listen, we know that this man can do everything. Breaking Booker T tacklers left and right. Gets to the house from there to open the scoring account. Daree McCain had his guys working tonight. Maury wins big, 91-0.
In Chesapeake, the reigning Class 6 state champs, Oscar Smith on the road against Hickory. This is the opening kickoff of the ball game. Oscar Smith receives it. Running back Tyjae Curtis, he's gone, or is he? Going to be brought down at the 13 before eventually being brought down by Michael Porter. Great field position. And then direct snap to Curtis. Punches it in for the Tigers. Makes it 7-0. Tigers leading 56 seconds into the game. Chris Scott and his Oscar Smith Tigers improved to 4-1 after a big win over Hickory tonight, 50-7, the final. All right, let's stay in Chesapeake, where two longtime rivals squared off.
We're talking about a pair of 3-1 teams. Indian River at Western Branch. The Braves have won the last two times these teams have met. And they had a big lead at halftime, up 34-7 on the home team. Let's pick it up in the third with the Bruins. David Ortel dropping back to pass, finds Sage Green Sessoms. First and goal opportunity here for Western Branch. Next play, Ortel again looking for the end zone. And we talk about Jason Preston's offense, but how about the interception on defense by Preston? Still in the third, Indian River hands it off. Travis Wiggins. Look at this, Craig.
Is he still going?
This is the definition of rumbling, bumbling, stumbling football. He's still going.
Oh, my goodness.
So, okay. Finally gets taken down.
Maybe run of the year.
We head to the fourth. Lord Malik Hiru looking for his big target, Elijah Boggs, for the big gainer here. Braves looking for that last nail in the coffin. So who are you going to hand it to? Back to Lord. He surveys the landscape, says, I'm going to do it myself. Uses the legs. We know he can run, Craig. Takes the contact in the end zone. Braves win 40-7.
He's really dangerous outside the pocket. All right, now to Suffolk. Nansemond River trying to remain unbeaten. The Warriors home against Great Bridge. It's a great atmosphere out there in Suffolk. Tough start for the Warriors, though, trying to get the run game going, but the ball pops out. That's a fumble. Great Bridge recovers it. Wildcats trying to take advantage. William Engler trying to avoid a sack, but ends up throwing the interception right back to River and Jamiri Parker. That gives the Warriors great field position. Quarterback Tyrell Grant. When he pulls it down, man, he's so dangerous. He looks fast out there, takes it himself, 7-0, just like that. Great Bridge trying. Here we go. But Engler can't escape the defensive line. Isaiah Lawrence and Sincere White come up with the sack. Second quarter now, same score. Grant finds Parker, who caught the interception. Now going to catch a touchdown. Nansemond River with a shutout victory tonight, 42-0.
Kings, well, you want to go?
I guess we'll go.
Yeah,
Kings Fork trying to rebound from last week's loss against Oscar Smith. The Bulldogs on the road at Grassfield. Second quarter action. Handoff goes to Preston Hall III. 5-yard touchdown. Bulldogs up 20-0. Grizzlies going to respond. Gabe Hoffman drops back, uncorks it. Deep ball to Jackson Mayer, and that is a great catch. How about the 71-yard Grassfield touchdown on the Hoffman to Mayer connection? End of the first half. Final play here. DeAndre Artis Boone to Kevin Knight for the score, 28-7 at the half. Third quarter, Artis Boone chased out of the pocket, rolling out, finds Corian Key from 18 yards out. Kings Fork with the district win over Grassfield.
All right, nice Eastern District matchup in Portsmouth. 4-1 Churchland playing host to 4-1 Norview. 14-0 Truckers when we got there in the third. How about Elijah Salem taking the handoff, evading a defender or two, literally making him slide on the ground, then takes the contact into the end zone. That made it 21-0 Truckers. Then Craig, at that point, Churchland relied on its suffocating defense like you see right here. A ton of tacklers getting the running back down, and then the run game to just drain the clock. Keith Williams Jr. with a nice gainer here to get the first down, continue to make that clock tick. Churchland moves to 5-1 on the season after a 21-0 win. Norcom at Lake Taylor. The Titans trying to extend their winning streak to 4 games. 6-6 game in the first quarter. Norcom back to pass. The pass tipped, intercepted by Keon Johnson. And here goes Johnson. Nothing but green grass ahead of him. Back to the house for the pick 6. Makes it 14-6 Lake Taylor. The Greyhounds scored 2 unanswered touchdowns after that, Craig. So it's 2014 Greyhounds here. Second quarter, Lake Taylor ball now deep in Norcom territory. Fumble on the play. DeMarcus Edwards picks up. Craig, it was the game of long plays. Norcom takes it back. They have a 26-14 lead. But how about this, though, Craig? Lake Taylor outscoring the Greyhounds 26-0 in the second half. Lake Taylor with a come-from-behind victory. They win 40-26. They're 5-1 on the season.
Good fight from the Greyhounds. All right, when we come back, we've got a ton more action, including showdowns in the Beach District.
Plus Peninsula District games and a check-in with the Bay Rivers District. You're watching Friday Night Flights.
All right, welcome back to Friday Night Flights. It is a bird's eye view of Ocean Lakes High School in Virginia Beach. The Dolphins field really pops from the sky. The logo's beautiful, especially under the lights now as we turn our attention to the rest of the action from the Beach District. And we're going to start with Ocean Lakes, which was trying to get over the 500 mark.
Let's go to the ground. The Dolphins taking out 3-2 Cox. The Dolphins with a turnover on their first possession. Kai English going to scramble, throw a dart to the wrong color jersey as Rex Miller with the interception. Second turnover on 2 drives. It would take 4 tries to make it to the end zone as Cox's Braden Herron almost coughs up the ball, but he plows his way into the end zone. That puts Cox up 7-0. To the second quarter, English going to drop back to pass, and again has to scramble before airing it out, and finds Braden Allen, who's going to make a catch, drag a few defenders down the field to put Ocean Lakes in scoring position. But it's Cox that wins tonight, 14-10.
Good game.
A pair of 500 teams facing off, 2-2 Tallwood against 2-2 Kellam. At Kellam in the second quarter, the Knights leading 24-0 when Tallwood finally gets on the scoreboard. QB Jacob Honnell keeps to the ball himself, works his way into the end zone. Kellam still up 24-7. The Knights with the ball now, a little over a minute left till halftime, and Kellam does a little trickery
is that
with
double
a toss
pass?
out to Mason Roach, to Aaron Smith, to an open Brady McLennan to put them closer to the end zone. Then Roach is going to hit Aaron Smith with time running out to half. Kellam going to take a 31-7 lead. Nice catch there in the half. To the third quarter, Kellam rolling. Roach going to hand it off to Gale Cooler, and Cooler going to go right through the middle of the defense as Kellum goes on to win tonight 38-14. Time to check in with the action on the Peninsula, and we start with the team that is coming off an historic win.
Yeah, we're talking about the Warwick Raiders, right, who snapped Phoebus's 51-game winning streak last weekend. Let's go to Todd Stadium. Warwick taking on Menchville. Right to it, starting the first quarter. Warwick with the ball. A hard run here from number 8, Terrius Brown. He had a heck of a game against Phoebus. Yeah, Brown full steam ahead as he takes it past the pylon to put the Raiders up 6-0. Warwick able to maintain that lead with a blocked punt in the second quarter. Recovered by Jameer Thornton, there we go, setting up his team on the goal line. Another touchdown then by Terrius Brown. What can Brown do for you? Extending the arm past the line to put his team up 12. A 2-point conversion would end up being no good, but no matter. The Raiders able to cruise to victory 39-0 over the Monarchs.
In Hampton, Heritage against Bethel at Darling Stadium. Here come the Bruins. We start in the second half. Bruins already ahead with a 55-point lead. Just looking to add more, and look at this.
Oh, we see it every week.
See him every single week.
Oh,
what
my God.
can't Omari Purdue do?
He looks even faster in this video for some reason.
It's wild. Let Omari cook. He continued to do so tonight, helping his team put on a dominant performance. That wasn't the only offense we saw, though. Quarterback Alex Lewis, he's got legs. He can run. Shaking multiple defenders, capped off the night as the Bruins will go on to win 68-0. They improved to 4-2 on the season.
Give the ball to Omari. Last night on the Peninsula, Phoebus hosting Highland Springs from Richmond. The Phantoms' 51-game win streak snapped last week against Warwick. Starting quarterback Maricus Banks is out right now with the injury. That means Mateo Radcliffe is under center for the Phantoms. They're down 14-0 in the third quarter. The pass picked off by the Springers. Incredibly, after winning 51 games in a row, Phoebus has now lost 2 straight.
Wild.
Highland Springs, obviously no slouch, comes to Hampton and defeats them by a score of 28-0.
Also last night in Newport News, Denby taking on Hampton. Let's go to the first quarter. Denby trying to punt it away, but Gene Jones Jr. of the Crabbers gets a hand on it, blocks it. I feel like they do this a lot.
Yeah, they block some kicks.
Yes, they do. Such a short field for Hampton. Marcus Chapman slings it to Abraham Taft. Takes a hit. 18-yard gainer, though, led to the touchdown to make it 21-0. More from Chapman. Gets chased out of the pocket. What a dot to Jawan Tucker for a Crabbers first down. That led to another touchdown. Hampton dominant last night. Crabbers over Denby 49-13. Bay Rivers action when we return.
Bay Rivers District action from Bailey Field tonight. Smithfield and Tab. First quarter, Tab running back Josh Gunthinger runs in for the score. First score of the game, 6-0 Tigers. Second quarter, Smithfield quarterback has a miscommunication with his wide receiver, results in a Tab interception by Eli Mancelli, who runs the ball back for a big gain. Check out the Tab unis, orange helmet, all blacks. Love that. And Tab would capitalize. Corbin Eckert going to look, roll right, and finds his receiver, Solomon Limehouse, in the end zone to make it 14-0 later in the second. Eckert throws a nice ball to Limehouse, and he makes a good catch with a couple defenders near him, tiptoes his way down the sideline. Tab would win by a couple possessions, 27-14.
Let's look at some scores from today. Lafayette over Grafton, 49-7. Granby taking down Manor, 10-0. Deep Creek over Lakeland today as well.
And also, First Colonial over Princess Anne. First Colonial, first win of the season. Kempsville gets the big win over Lansdowne, 41-12.
NSA over Catholic in a big way. HRA over Isle of Wight as well.
Okay, good show. Good stuff. Really appreciate great highlights. Man, we are getting in it. Season's rolling on.
We are.
College football is happening tomorrow. How about Battle of the Bay between Hampton and Norfolk State up at Armstrong Stadium? I will be there for that one. ODU hosting Coastal Carolina.
Opening Sun Belt play.
There you go. William and Mary at home against North Carolina A&T. Also, Wake Forest at Virginia Tech. UVA traveled to 4-0 Louisville.
I like that one. Good defense with Louisville against a very high-powered offense in UVA.
Yeah, it should be a great college football weekend. James will have all the coverage throughout the weekend on Wavy TV 10. How about this? Green Run High School, the site of an instant classic at the beach tonight. Shout out to both those teams. Thanks for watching Friday Night Flights. For James Catato, I'm Craig Loper. We'll see you next week.